Well, hello everyone. Alan here, coming at you today with a biography by Tom Robbins called Tibetan Peach Pie. Now, I wanted to read this as part of Nonfiction November, and I didn't get around to it. But it is my 21st book read in my 25 Read What You Own book challenge. I enjoyed this biography a lot. I'm a big fan of Tom Robbins. My favorite novels by him are Jitterbug Perfume, um, Skinny Legs and All, that's about the Israeli Palestinian crisis. And that was written, 10, 20 years ago. I like Another Roadside Attraction with the corpse, Jesus's corpse, possibly. And I like Still Life with Woodpecker. He's going to be 91 years old. Uh, and I've been a fan of his for a long time. I learned a lot. Things I didn't know about him, things that I assumed I knew about him and didn't. I've got a few notes here. He was a very precocious child, you can imagine. A lot of writers are. They seem to be writing early and know they wanted to be a writer of some sort. And he did as well. In fact, his mother encouraged him. His mother even took dictation. He published his first short story in the newspaper in North Carolina when he was 7 years old. His mother was an unpublished, frustrated writer, you could say, but she helped him out a lot and encouraged him. He ended up in the Korean over in Korea in the Air Force and was honorably discharged. It just wasn't for him. He, he's known for being a big pothead and into psychedelics, mushrooms, but he didn't smoke marijuana until he was 35 years old. He had a lot of journalistic jobs, newspaper type jobs growing up. When he started making it big, he got a loyal female following, to say the least. In one book signing in Texas, a girl took off her shirt, bra, and had him sign her chest. And after that, I guess several others did as well. He shares a story about running into Neil Young, and they were in the same hotel, and a receptionist was all giddy and gaga, and Neil thought it was for him, and it turned out she was a big Tom Robbins fan, and went on and on and on about Tom Robbins and all that, and that was a funny story. He tells some stories about Timothy Leary, a man I met one time in Phoenix. I'll tell you that story later if you want. But so he goes into detail about that. I like that part a lot. He talks about the Oscars in 1990. If you remember, that's when Dances with Wolves won, the Kevin Costner film. I love that film. And I love the book too. The writer of Dances with Wolves wrote that in Bisbee, Arizona. Small copper, it used to be a copper mining town. Now it's just a tourist attraction. Very small town. Doug Stranhope lives there, the comedian, if anybody knows that. But the writer of Dances with Wolves was a dishwasher in a Chinese restaurant when he wrote that. And I'm digressing, but so Robbins tells the story about that. His date was Deborah Winger, the famous actress, and he ended up partying with Sean Penn and Al Pacino. Told some good stories. I like them a lot. I like Sean Penn. I like Al Pacino a lot too. Al Pacino is crazier than you think. And he talks about Richmond, Virginia, where he spent a lot of time, and he talks about Seattle, where he spent most of his time. He's lived up there for 30 years. He doesn't go into a lot of sexcapades. Uh, and admittedly, he said he didn't want to embarrass anybody, didn't want to step on anybody's toes. You know, it just wasn't his place. Didn't want to. I don't know. So I would have liked to hear more gossip. I admit, I would have liked to hear more like details and inside stuff. I have one of his novels down here on my TBR. I think I picked these up at the Portland library sale a few years ago. Were Fierce Invalids Home from Hot Climates. So I'm going to read that. I've only got 4 more books to read on my Read What You Own challenge, and they're lined up. I've got several to pick from. And when I'm done with the 25, I'm going to continue to read more because it's been really interesting. I have some books I've had on my shelf that I really want to read and get to. So this has given me the fine opportunity to do so. So I wish you would like or subscribe or at least make a comment because I'll reply back to you. And wish you a good evening and a great day tomorrow. Talk to you later. Ta-ta.